Hey everyone, welcome to Veda Day 15. It is April 15th. My name is Kim, and sorry for kind of the drown look here. I just got out of the shower, and if I don't film this now, I will not get the chance to today, because I made that mistake yesterday thinking, oh, I can do it later, and then later just never came. But I have a couple finished objects to show you. I've got a couple works in progress to show you, so I wanted to go ahead and be able to do that. Now, I'm going to start with finished objects because I have waited since last night to be able to show this. Now, before I show it, and those of you that follow me on Instagram might have already seen it. So, you guys remember in my video on Saturday, this fabric, it has the sheeps, the black and the pink sheeps on it. So, I had gotten this to use as a lovey base when I did the baby sheep lovey. What I didn't realize is the back side has hearts and polka dots. So that actually works out even cuter than I thought it was going to be. I'm definitely going to go buy more of this from Hobby Lobby this week. So, let's start out by showing you the pattern. It is, for those of you that don't know, it's by Old Soul Crochet. She has a channel here on YouTube. And it is the baby sheep. This is a paid pattern. You can get it from her website, which will be linked below, or Ravelry. And when you buy the baby sheep, you can also get a lovey where you take the arms and the head, and then you put a fleece blanket underneath it. So, this is it. Now, it's not 100% done. It's 99% done. But, look at this. Is she not the cutest? So it's got the blanket yarn, and I used almond and white. The eyes are coffee from Red Heart, and the white is, I believe, just, Red Heart white. So this is the standard white from Bernat Blanket Yarn. It's not the antique white. And almond. Now I used the other side of the fleece for the ends of the feet, or the ends of the arms and the ears. But are you ready for this part? Because the feet were so big, I was able to put sheeps on the feet. So you've got the black sheep and the pink sheep. And I just love this thing. It is so much fun. It's bigger than I thought it was going to be. It is definitely quite big. But what is so great about this pattern, I actually made this in about 6 hours yesterday. And that's with stopping several times. So this is only about a 5 or 6 hour project for me. And it is super cute. What I love about her patterns is you use pantyhose inside. And that prevents little baby fingers from getting in there and pulling out your stuffing. And then, because it uses the crocheted eyes, this is perfectly safe for small children. Which, at my craft shows, I would always have that problem where people wanted to buy stuff for really young kids, but couldn't because they didn't want the safety eyes, because we do have to put a warning. And for those of you that do craft shows, you need to remember this. If you have safety eyes on your items, here in America, at least, I'm not sure what it is in other countries, but in America, you do need to put a warning label on it. What I do is I have a card where I list the price, and I list what type of yarn it is, and on that I put small parts not suitable for children under 3. So that's just, a safety warning that I put on. And people still buy things with safety eyes for children under 3. That's, completely up to them. Whatever they want to do. I've yet to see a 3-year-old that can take safety eyes off of something. If you know a 3-year-old that can't, more power to them. But I also make sure that, I can't pull the safety eyes out through the stitches and the whole thing. But people were looking for stuff without safety eyes, so I'm definitely going to make more of these. But isn't she just precious? I'm going to make one where instead of white, it's going to be pink. And the ends are going to be white. And I'm going to make another one that's going to be light blue and then white. But yes, she is so cute. I love this. I was just so happy as this came together yesterday. It was so much fun. But I just love what I was able to do with the 2 fleeces on the feet. So, she is done, except for she does need me to sew the little triangle of fabric onto her nose, because I didn't have any coordinating thread and I didn't want to mess it up by using something that would stick out too much. So I'm going to get some thread and I will sew the patch onto her nose. Otherwise, she is finished. I definitely had a much better luck with the more expensive fleece from Hobby Lobby, so I'm proud of that. I just love how it turned out. So be careful if you do live here in the States and you use the fleece from Walmart. I did struggle immensely with that, but Hobby Lobby definitely came through. And this is only using like little tiny pieces of fleece. It didn't use much at all from my piece that I'd gotten. So she is done except for the nose. Now that we've oohed and awed over her for a few minutes, I'm going to sit her down. The only other finished item I have isn't that exciting, but still, it's necessary. And I've lost it in my bucket over here. Sorry. There she is. I made another little well. And this is another one of those little quick, free patterns, quick to work up well pattern. And this is on Ravelry. It's a download. And I made one in the pink that I had out the other day. This is the Pretty in Pink from Red Heart Super Saver, and this is white. So this one is done. What I'm going to do with these for my shows is actually put key rings on the top of these. And it will be ready to go on my show. You technically can do these even without key rings because they are a pretty good size themselves. But so that is done. And again, that is a free pattern off of Ravelry. And it's a well. Now, the 2 items I'm going to show you now are my works in progress currently. I had mentioned this one on Saturday. This is Stan the Stegosaurus. This is a paid pattern. I'll link it down below. I need to go through and edit my descriptions so that you can get the link on the other patterns. But this is Stan the Stegosaurus. It is a paid pattern. It is by Little Green Bear. So I wanted to try this one because dinosaurs are a huge, huge seller. And my mom accidentally grabbed a hold of this wrong and pulled a couple stitches out. So I need to see where I'm at on it. But here's what I have so far. Now, this is a really cute pattern. This is Tuckwork by Red Heart Super Saver. And the spikes on the top will be this pink color. It's a really cool pattern, but the only thing is there's not, except for right here, like 4 rows right here, there's not a lot of where you do the same stitches and you just go around and around. Each of these rows builds on each other to kind of make it bow out, and then it immediately goes down. So you don't have a large segment like in most of them where we just go round and round. So this one does take a lot more concentration than my other dinosaurs. And it does seem to be taking longer than even Timothy the T-Rex. So I'm not sure. It's all going to depend on what I think of it when it's done. Because you've got the body, the legs, and all of the spikes along the back. Because my issue is with craft shows is making it affordable, but also being able to make multiples. Because one thing that I found to be detrimental to craft shows is to only have one of something. They don't have to be the same color, but having just one item, because what's going to happen is, especially if it's like my big holiday show right before Thanksgiving. And this happened last year. Somebody takes the item and the kids are carrying it around. Perfect. Because then people stop them. Where'd you get that? That's so great. And this was the case with the Timothy the T-Rexes last year. Everybody was carrying them around. So then they come to your booth. Oh, I just saw that sheep. I want one. That was the only one I had. Now, I know we can't get multiples of every single thing done. It's just not humanly possible to have a ton of stuff. But you really don't want to just have that one off. Now, I do have a few, but they are usually my higher priced items. This year, it will be anything that takes like 12 hours or more are usually a one-off, because I just can't justify spending, 12 hours on one item or even longer, and then not being able to charge much more than what I got done in like 6 hours. Because in the same time I could have done 2. I could have doubled the money. So, I don't know what I'm going to do about this one yet. I'm going to see what it's like, because it might be easier. It might, the sewing might not be so bad, but I do hate sewing. But I am going to give it a chance, because I really do want some Stegosauruses, because I have the Brontos, I have the T-Rexes, and another really popular and well-known dinosaur is the Stegosaurus. I do have a couple more Stegosaurus patterns, but at the end of the day, no matter what you do with the Stegosaurus, it's going to take a little bit longer because of the spikes. So, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to see, does it come out as a good size? Is it worth the investment? Worst case scenario, I might just make 1 or 2 more. But I do hope it turns out good, because it is a paid pattern. I would like to at least be able to get 2 or 3 out of it. One thing that I do want to do is I want to do a Triceratops too. But I want to do the Triceratops and the Stegosaurus from Heidi Bears. The ones with the African flower motifs. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to shake the table. I'm going to do those, but those kind of fit in a different category than what I normally do for my craft shows. To me, the motif ones, they're definitely on the higher end. Because for the motif animals, I charge a flat rate per motif. For those of you that will want to know, I charge $1.25 per motif. So, for example, the elephant costs $44. That's what I charge for it. So, I find that those do really well specifically with adults. So, it kind of goes against a lot of what I do, but it's a price point that I do not have. Because most of what I do are things for children. Easy gifts, especially because I do all fall shows, holiday gifts. And it is pretty cool, because this past Christmas I was able to, sit back and think, you know what? A couple hundred children have toys that I've made them for Christmas this year. And that's a great feeling. But I do want to be able to offer a wider range of items this year. So I'm not going to focus on just toys for younger children. I'm going to focus on the motif animals, and I'm going to focus on some more like higher end items as well. Because last year it was more of a focus of the lower price points, but I realized that there are people who will buy the higher end items. So don't be afraid to make. Obviously, if you're going to a small show, there might not be as much, or if it's going to be a more kid-centered show, then you don't want to focus on the higher price points. You want to focus on, what can the child afford? What kind of money do the children around you carry on them? That type of thing. I know I'm getting off topic here, but I know a lot of you are doing craft shows year-round, so if any of this helps, I really hope it does. If I have one piece of advice for anybody doing a craft show, do items like these. Little narwhals, octopies, You know, the little octopuses with the tentacles. Things of that nature. Things that either fit on key rings or fit in your hand. Because things like this, I charge approximately $5 for. And that is the number one thing picked up by children that are shopping by themselves. Because even at some of the biggest shows, I always have children that are by themselves. Whether it's children of other vendors, or, you know, the parents are going about and they've let their children. Because we do live in a relatively good area. So, I know in some areas you will never see children walking alone. But around here you will. And usually the parents, you know, give them around here $5 to go buy something. So I highly recommend you having quite a few little things in the $5 range, no matter what kind of shows you're doing. I'm not sure, you know, for those of you in a different area, kind of how the money, like the equivalency of money or stuff like that. I'm not really good with that. But around here, a lot of parents don't really think, you know, $5, that's the price of a kid's meal. That's the price of a coffee, that type of thing. So, you know, they don't see that as a big deal, giving $5 to a child to go find something at the event. So, because I'm usually the only person there that has things really child-centered that are not clothes, I find that having something in that $5 range is great. I had this past season, I had octopies, I had narwhals, and I had little owls. And I sold probably, in all the shows combined, 200 items in that $5 range. That was the quickest, best, easiest thing for me. And all the stuff that's in that range is stuff that takes me 90 minutes or less to make. And doesn't take much on. Because these will be in that range because I'm going to put a key ring on them. But even by themselves, around here, you probably could get $4 or $5 for them. But because I'm going to put a key ring on them, they'll be an easy sell at $5. So, definitely in that price range was kind of the easy sell or the upsell thing. Because I would have somebody, they would buy, you know, say they were shopping for multiple children, or they were shopping for a gift but had another child with them. They would buy, you know, something in the $15 or $20 price range, and then they would buy that extra little thing for the child they had with them. That was definitely the most popular price point for me all season, was that $5 easy grab item. So definitely recommend that. I know some people charge more for the octopies and things like that. I found that's what works for me here. As I said, I don't live in a small town, but I don't live in a big city. I live in between, for those of you familiar with Tennessee, I live in between Nashville and Knoxville. I live exactly in the middle, and it's actually becoming a bigger area. But still, the median income is not as great as it is in some other areas. So, the $5 range is just kind of that sweet spot for me here. Now, you'll have to look, especially those of you with children, think of it as, or grandchildren even, think of it as when you go to these places, or when you go, you know, to the store. And I do this with my nieces and nephew all the time. What kind of money do you give them when you go to the store? Whether it's the dollar store, Walmart, any of those stores. What kind of pocket money do you give them to buy a treat? What is that money that doesn't feel like it is really buying something? You know. And for me, that's about the $5 range. Because, you know, $5 they can get something. Whether it's a treat. Like I said, around here, you go to Starbucks. That's cheaper than a cup of coffee at Starbucks. But then you go to our old school donut place and you can buy a dozen donuts for that price. So But it's kind of one of those, it depends on where you are. But around here, $5 seems to be that price range. So definitely look at what is kind of that spot for you. What is money you expect, or you would give a child, or you give your children or grandchildren. And definitely have some things in that price range, because that is where one of your biggest market is at a lot of these shows, is children with their pocket money. So, enough on that. I'm going to show you. Sorry, I kind of went off topic there with you, but I want to try to get as much of what works for me for craft shows out there, so that those doing craft shows, maybe you can find some tips to help you in yours. And if you have any craft show tips, I would love to hear them. I am by no means an expert, and I am always looking for more ideas. So if you have anything that's worked for you, let me know. I will be going into display things and stuff like that. I've got my friend who's really good at construction is building me some more freestanding displays. So I'll definitely go more into setup and things like that as the displays get done. But back to what I'm working on. I had shown this back 2 weeks ago. This is a free pattern by the Friendly Red Fox, I believe it is. But you can also buy the PDF, which, as you know, I usually buy the PDF because I love being able to print them out. But this little sheep, I guess I'm on a sheep kick the last 24 hours. Last time I showed you, I had the head done. Excuse me. This is Bernat Pipsqueak yarn. This is Red Heart Super Saver in charcoal. And then this is just some pink. I believe it's, I love this yarn. So then I also, last time I left you guys with this one, I had its ears done. So its ears are done in charcoal. So today, so far, it's about 10:45, 11 o'clock now. I've done one of the arms. And I've worked on the body. And I am starting to decrease the body. So the body and half the head is made using the Pipsqueak yarn. And this yarn, it's not the easiest to work with, but it hides mistakes really well, so you can kind of fudge it if you mess up. So I'm currently decreasing the body. And I need to finish that. I need to make one more arm, and I need to make both the legs. So that is what I'm working on currently. I'm going to finish the body up real quick, and then I might work some on that Stegosaurus. Or I might start another sheep, or who knows. Have we, I think we've gotten to the point where we realize I don't stick to a plan. I don't like to be told what to do. So that's what I'm currently working on. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I had a very busy weekend. It stormed yesterday, and it quit yesterday morning, but then it kept like it was trying to start again all day. I did a bunch of laundry. I got more laundry to do today. I got dishes to do and all that, so that's what I'm getting ready to go do as well. So I will wrap this up. I've kind of gone on and on and on at you today. But I will see you all tomorrow for Veda Day 16. Or as I call it, Tuesday. So, again, let's say bye-bye to the sheep. I'm going to go put this up and get back to work. I hope you all are going to have a wonderful Monday. For those of you that are at work today, I'm sorry. Kim, I'm hoping you're enjoying your vacation this week. Try to have a little bit of fun and relax and sleep in a little bit. And don't have to yell at the boys. Get your shoes. Where's your backpack? Where's your... Yeah. I know that feeling. So I have to deal with a 13-year-old teenager every single day. So I wish you all well. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.